Welcome to Big Boy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and honestly the greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. You know what I heard? I heard no channel works harder to keep you in the know when it comes to crypto. It's Around the Blockchain. We come to you Monday through Friday, 5:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is June 8th, and we're going to be talking about your favorite topics. And at least today, it is the best panel we've ever had on the show and literally never had this lineup before. We're going to go ahead and start on the top right. He's missing his telltale screens, but it's okay. So we're going to bring it, on the scene. Gareth Soloway. Then on the bottom right, we're missing a human, but he's lurking around. Don't worry, Andrew Mo. It's going to be more than the dog commenting. Then on the bottom left, he's missing his sleeves. But, if I had guns like that, I'd show them up too. We're talking about Jayson Casper with the Market Cipher hoodie. With nice A shirt is what I should call it, right? It's an A shirt, everybody. Then on the top left, missing Ben Armstrong. But it is Crypto Taco in his place. Don't worry, he'll bring it to you hard. He'll bring it to you soft shell. However you like it. He's going to serve it up with a little extra cheese on top. But we're going to be talking about ETH's new testnet. How did it go? Did it fail? Is proof of stake coming soon? We don't know. We're going to find out. Also, Chainlink 2.0. Where are my link Marines? Hit that like button, especially if you got 0.4 link at least. Then Dish TV teaming up with Chucky, as I like to call him, a.k.a. Charles Hoskinson, a.k.a. Cardano and Dish Network, marriage made in heaven. We'll look into that. But before we do, let's check out the markets. Where are the markets at? Where's Bitcoin at? Where's Ethereum at? And it is not looking good on the 24-hour time frame here. We have Bitcoin down about 3.5%. We have Ethereum down 2.5%. Gareth, we're going to be talking about Ethereum's testnet. By all accounts, everything went well. The testnet performed flawlessly. We'll get more into the details soon, but the market certainly didn't seem to care. Now, Bitcoin did fall 3.5% and Ethereum only fell 2.5%. So I guess technically it gained Satoshis, but am I crazy for not seeing any kind of bullish action on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough market, and I think everyone has to understand that in bull markets, the littlest news can be the biggest catalyst, but in a bear market, it really is hard to move things, and that's what we see, right? So if we look at Ethereum real quick, you're stuck in this classic little wedge pattern. You have the lowest price when the USDT or the UST kind of collapsed there and Terra Luna collapsed. We've retested that line. It's held. That's the line in the sand. So basically, when you're looking at it in chart format in terms of strength and resistance, that's the level you have to hold, this 1725. As long as that holds, start looking for that upside down sloping trend line right here, currently sitting around 1920 or so. If we can break out of that, I actually think, and this is the angle I'm going. I'm actually with a bullish bias on Ethereum here. I think it will have a break to the upside. I think you're going to at least get maybe as high as 2,300 or so. So I'm in that camp. I think it's a good shot, and I think Bitcoin. We could just quickly touch on Bitcoin's chart here. Bitcoin is mired in this nasty chop. I mean, this is the type of chop that in Wall Street trading circles we say this is where the small investor goes bankrupt because they keep on jumping long on every pop, and then they get their heart broken and they get stopped out, and it's just this kind of chop shop of nastiness. So again, I think Bitcoin also has upside coming, but just be careful in this choppy kind of session.
Yeah, watch the chop shop, or like Nicolas Cage, he'll be gone in 60 seconds. That was a 90s action movie reference for all 40 people who got it. Please hit that like button. All right, let's talk a little Ropsten testnet here. They just announced their proof of work. I'm sorry, no, that's Romstein. No, Ropsten. Yeah, come on now. No, I do host that graphic there. No, successfully merged with the Beacon chain. This is the first step into getting Ethereum from proof of work into proof of stake. After this testnet, there are 2 more testnets that it has to go through. I'm not even going to bother trying to give them names here, but everything seems to be going smooth. This won't affect gas fees. Before, there's a lot of misinformation that gas fees are going to get lowered, but no, it is the token emission rate that is going to be lowered. And to dumb that down, the amount of Ethereum released every single day is now going to be slashed by 90%. What do you think they'll do to the price? I think, probably something pretty good. DeFi still shrinking, though. Total value lock still shrinking despite all the positive possible things happening here. Now, I'm going to bring it to you, Taco. after the merge, staking rewards, they're supposed to increase. Do you see this becoming more of a target on his back when it comes to regulators now that they're saying, hey, you're going to be rewarded here? Is that, even though it's supposedly not a security, is this going to maybe mess up their case with a different 3 or 4 letter agency of the U.S. government?
Good question. Thank you for having me on. Love being on around the blockchain. So yeah, to answer your question, it does seem like something that would be on the SEC's or 3-4 letter word, their radar, because I know they went after Coinbase, they went after Celsius. What other lending platform are they going to start going after? The only caveat is, I guess they already kind of got a free pass by the SEC, and they're going to be on their good graces because they're switching from proof of work to proof of stake. So that's going to cut down on the carbon emissions, all that. But I think it's too soon to tell, and I'm going to stick with that answer. I mean, we really don't know what's the SEC is going to do. I mean, they're going after BNB 5 years later after their ICO. So I don't know. They're just picking names out of a hat, and then they're running with it. So we'll see.
Okay, and people in chat think I can't pronounce. It's okay. I can't pronounce it. The 2 test nets yet to emerge. I know one's Sepolia. That seems easy enough. That one, Goerli, Goerli, Goerli. I don't know, but yeah, this the 2 test nets. But we do have a lot of wallets being added. About 500,000 Ethereum wallets are being created each week. This has been going on for a couple months. A lot of predictions on when everything will be completed. It's looking like, there is a ticking time bomb saying this needs to be get done by August. That could get pushed back. Vitalik most recently has stated possibly September, October. Andrew, I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this merge, and what do you think of this timeline? I mean, it's kind of a meme at this point. If Vitalik says it's coming out in the summer, it's at least going to be the winter. What are the odds that this will, come out when they say it will in the fall and everything will be working smoothly?
Okay, I want to say thanks for having me on, but honestly, it's just because Professor Meatball doesn't want to answer this question.
Yeah. I
I'll
wanted him to answer, but I'll settle for Andrew Mo money, I guess.
He's all the way over there. I don't think he's going to answer. He's too far away from the mic.
Yeah, the mic.
So like you said, right, there's a bunch more steps before the actual mainnet merge. So the 2 Ethereum test nets, they have to undergo their own merges. And so that's, like you said, the difficulty bomb. It's going to have to be set back. And the more it gets set back, it actually exponentially raises the mining difficulty of the proof of work chain. So in this scenario, a bunch of Ethereum developers are going to have to come together, and at the end of the day, if they're postponing the difficulty bomb to keep the network functioning, it makes it basically a bait and switch. Like you have something that you are giving people like bullish indicators, like, oh, it's almost done. Here's another milestone. Here's another time, but it's just a couple of steps away from actually seeing the light of day. So I think it's bullish in the short run, but at the same time, how many more bullish runs can you have before you hyperinflate the quality of something that people have been waiting for since 2016? And that's honestly what when it was named, and at this point it's been about 6 years. So yeah. How long can we wait?
The merge has taken a while. Hopefully they could maybe speed it up along. Maybe the finish line is close. I know it's something I've been waiting on a long time. I remember years ago having the stream, I'll get 32 ETH and blah blah blah, and yeah, now who knows. All right, Jayson, let's talk price again. I kind of want to get your take on this. I've heard Gareth speak about this. I've heard, Crypto Lifer speak about this. And basically, charts are kind of king. The charts can almost predict, big news when it comes out. Like the charts almost predicted the Tesla pump for Bitcoin, and charts kind of predicted the Luna crash. Like a lot of things were kind of already in place. The dominoes are already there, just kind of waiting for a little flick here. With this 2.0 merge coming, let's say everything is successful, but, say the weekly MACD looks bearish or the monthly chart looks bearish, some of these more long-term time frames. Do you consider something like that worth trading? Is there an opportunity if everything was successful? Could we see another run of record daily candles? Or are you, the person that's saying, charts are king and the weekly looks bearish, I don't care how good this news is, the charts are saying no? Where do you land on that when you're trying to figure out what to weigh as when you're making your trade?
Right. Well, thank you, DZ, for having me on, man. I appreciate being here. It's been a while. Feels good to be back.
Yeah, we'd like to have you back.
Oh, man, appreciate it. So, I mean, I am a firm believer that charts are king, but as Gareth was saying, I mean, right now in these markets, I don't think we're really going to be seeing any major bullish action right now. I mean, we're kind of in a macro downtrend. And, you know, the way I look at it is if everything goes according to plan and, you know, we see Ethereum reach their goals within the next 20 or 30 years. I mean, in the next few months, I think it will be bullish when the markets start to turn up again. And right now, like Gareth was saying, these markets are very choppy. They're not good for most traders unless, you know, you're in the Jayson Casper crew, in which case these markets are awesome. But when I really think like right now, the strength of the dollar is going to determine, I think, what happens for crypto. If we see the dollar, which is coming up to major resistance, potentially taking a dive down back to support, I think we could see crypto get a big move to the upside. It actually could be the move to the upside. Whether or not that happens is we can't know for sure right now, but if that does happen, then I think it'll be bullish for crypto overall. And so the bullish fundamentals that are happening during the bear market are really going to start to play out in the charts if things do get a move to the upside. But I don't think that's going to, you know, any kind of fundamental news that happens for crypto right in this moment, I don't think it's going to affect anything. I think we're just going to keep ranging here for right now. And people are going to think every little pump is, you know, going to the moon.
Yeah.
Then we're just going to come back down to support. So.
Yeah, but Jayson, it was the 24-minute chart. Okay, that's a big time frame. What are you talking about?
Well,
hey, there's a dot.
Things.
There's a
that
dot.
Does change.
I got to trade the
minute,
dot, man. No, I don't mean your 4-hour, 24-minute coinciding. No, just the 24-minute.
Oh, right. Just the 20.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk a little Chainlink. Actually brought up the 1 week chart here and looking a little bit better. I know I was a buyer in the $6 range. Yes, I bought more than 0.4. Okay, 1.4. I bought 1.4. Right now, we're chilling $8.67. They released a long-term roadmap. Yes, staking is coming to Chainlink. I know 4chan Biz Channel has been talking about it ever since they kind of had a website up. No one knew what the website was going to say exactly. Everybody knew staking was probably going to be on the menu here, but essentially V1, V2 coming out, new Chainlink roadmap, if you will. It's weird, a blue chip altcoin like Chainlink saying roadmap like a 10K PFP project. But yeah, they're going to have staking rewards. Looks like about 5% is going to be offered. This is going to come from their a little bit of an existing supply plus what is earned via the protocol. Just a little background. I know with NFTs to update the data on all the metadata on all the NFTs, got to spend 1 or 2 Chainlink. And if you're doing updates every 24 hours, that project, they have to burn a little bit of Chainlink. So there is some Chainlink leaving the system. But to be clear, the Chainlink Foundation does have big bags. I do just want to say that. They were ranked 21 in the coin market cap. Looks like, yeah, still 21. Looking good. Now, Soloway, Link was an outlier the last bear market, performed exceedingly well. But along with, most alts, after May, it just couldn't recover. It never got that second top like Bitcoin. It never even came close, I want to say. I remember just looking at it going down and to the right, slowly but surely. Is the outlier effect done? I mean, is there any potential chance for Chainlink, to maybe repeat what they did 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, so I think there's always a chance, right? It just depends on can they get the same things in alignment as they had last time. The biggest thing for me is just noticing the outperformance on the chart. Now, when you see a move like this, where it's you could see this little kind of wedge pattern that it was hovering in. Let me zoom it out so we can get it a little bit higher for you guys. But the bottom line is you broke out, you retraced, and then you kind of have rallied up here beautifully. And I think the key here is looking at the chart and saying, okay, well, what has Ethereum done? What has Bitcoin done? And all of these other ones are very, very, they're underperforming essentially. So you have to think that this one has upside, especially if I'm right that Bitcoin has a near-term up move coming that it's going to break out of this kind of sideways chop. At least in the short term, I might be midterm bearish where I still think it's got more downside. But I just think you got way too many bears out there. And so if Bitcoin and Ethereum can make a move to the upside, I think you get a nice move here on Chainlink. And my target is super easy to see here. If you zoom out, you can see that just draw that trend line straight down. And then you have this little kind of trend line right here, and they intersect at around $10.75, give or take. So I think there's further upside. The only thing I would mention is be careful about chasing, right? So sometimes I say, hey, I think there's another $2 upside, right? You don't necessarily want to jump in on a trade after it's already run from $5.5, $6 and just try to capture that. More than anything, you want to look at the chart ahead of time, get that move, price action breakout in there, and then take a stab at it. So again, I think there's upside here. I think they can short-term outperform because the chart is telling us there's relative strength. But just again, be careful in chasing these things. Chasing in a bear market is horrendously dangerous. Bull markets, you can jump on anything at any time and you think you're a genius. Bear markets have a way of just smoking you.
Okay, well, too late. I've already opened my 50x long. You said don't chase the last $2 pump. Oh, darn it. All right, well, Jayson Casper, I kind of want to piggyback on what the first thing Gareth said, and it's outperformed its peers lately. So another way of looking at that is it has gained Satoshis. So not the Link USD chart, but the Link BTC chart. Is there going to be a limit where it would have to cool down? What are your takes on that? You know, when a coin just starts outperforming, think FTT in November or Crow in October, when it starts outperforming, is there a limit to Satoshi gains, or do the the consumers or the charts, however you want to put it, do they care more about the USD gains?
I think that the Bitcoin pairs are definitely a good barometer of how a crypto is performing. And I also would say that we do have to be careful, as Gareth was saying, because although we've seen Chainlink outperform its peers, when we do look at the chart, we can see that it's pretty much still maintaining within the same range that it's been trading in, since the beginning of May. And we're coming up to some key areas of resistance there. And so I would just also give a word of caution saying that a lot of times, just because there's some bullish news that comes out and a coin gets a big move to the upside, a lot of times by the time people notice that it's doing well, that's when it's about to dump. And we can see some pretty bearish divergences forming on some of the medium-term timeframes here. So I would just offer a word of caution. But at the same time, I actually have been noticing, I've actually been studying this, how the Bitcoin pairs perform. And I have noticed in the past that when the Bitcoin pairs for a certain asset starts to really pump up and outperform, but the USD chart does not really, that can actually give us like almost a leading indication that that cryptocurrency is going to, and that's the thing, it has to be in like a bullish environment. It has to be during a bull cycle, but that usually means that crypto is really going to pump on the USDT chart compared to the others. So
okay.
that is
similar to Crow and FTT, I guess 7 months ago at this point. Okay, nice point there.
Exactly.
Andrew, on that note, we have Link kind of outperforming its peers, does do well. Do you have a set of blue chip alts that you do think will make it through the bear market, that will outperform its peers, that will gain Satoshis? And is Chainlink on that list?
Muted.
Yep. Yeah. I thought you were like
I'm
really
muted.
contemplating, like, oh man, is it on my list?
It's and then I buffer and then we never get my answer. No. I believe that there's 4 long-term goals, right, that talk about Chainlink's development, and I feel like that's one of the things to highlight. Is it the 4 that's going to make the best case coin? Is the best case technology? You have to be able to understand that 1, you're increasing security. 2, you're growing the community participation. 3, you're generating sustainable rewards. And then 4, you're empowering node operators, right? Those 4 different pieces of the technology is myriad. It's something that is found in a lot of different technologies. So you have to think about, does the combination of these 4 actually bring together the strength of this tech? Honestly, in my opinion, the points that have already been made about being a bear market, right? The fact that Gareth had a really fantastic say in when you are trying to chase something that could smoke you at the end, it's just honestly not worth it. You don't want to be caught in that situation. So
Yeah.
is this technology something on most people's radar? It could be on yours, but in my opinion, I don't think it's unique enough.
Yeah, what I like to say is during the bear market, the music will stop. You're going to see a lot of bozos looking for a chair. You don't want to be one of the bozos.
Yeah.
You want to be sit. You know what? Maybe you could have held out for a bigger chair, but I'm happy with my little rocker in the back. All right, Taco. We've talked about staking, many a times when it comes to NFTs, play to earn, step in most recently, and Link. One of their roadmap items is they're going to release staking eventually. Do you think that's a positive thing, or is this a negative thing? Is it positive? Hey, we're going to enrich the people who believe in the project, or is it negative? Yeah, more sell pressure. What do you think?
I definitely think it's positive for the reason that you started this segment with. I mean, you have the NFT projects, especially the dynamic NFTs that are changing. Imagine a baseball card, the player's stats updates at the end of the game. That costs Chainlink to update that, and the Oracle is just needed all throughout crypto. I mean, I can't believe Solana just implemented the Chainlink Oracle system, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, staking is definitely better than no staking. I mean, where is there staking for Chainlink right now? I think on like those lending platforms that are disappearing. So if the actual crypto is like the company is actually allowing people to stake, that's bullish for me. It's a long-term hold. It's always going to be used for years to come. Everyone needs to get this data, and Chainlink has done a great job supplying that data to everyone, the exchanges, everything.
All right, now just real quick, yes or no, is it the low staking rewards that you're not really worried about the sell pressure?
Low staking rewards.
Well, 5% is not that crazy. 217 APY or whatever you might see on some altcoin.
Yeah, there's definitely a level where I'm like, that seems too good to be true. And like we just saw with UST, I thought 20% was a little too good to be true, but I still wanted to try it out. It worked for about 4 or 5 months, and then it completely crashed.
Yeah, I didn't mean to open a fresh wound there.
No,
hit that like button if you or anyone, if you or anyone that was affected by Terra Luna, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. All right. Final topic here. We're going to talk about Dish TV teaming up with Cardano, IOHK, and IOG. More specifically, Input Output Global is IOG Technologies, the Cardano's development arm. And they're teaming up with Dish Network, the satellite TV provider, and basically reinterpreting their entire loyalty reward program. They have a reward program. They have coins that you earn for, having your Dish network on X amount of months and whatnot. They're completely replacing that with a Cardano ecosystem coin, essentially. It's the Dish's Boost One loyalty program, and they're going to track the balance of, all the customers, and then every 24 hours overnight, it will re-update with their new balances. So it seems like maybe some of these Cardano partnerships are starting to pay off, even if it is a year or two later after, they first were tweeted about. And they also just had a successful blockchain upgrade here, the Vassal hard fork, and everything seems to be moving smoothly along with that, and a huge upgrade on the 29th of June regarding that. Now, Gareth, Cardano's been pretty hot lately with the charts compared to, some of its peers we've talked about on the channel before. There's that number 6 spot, right? You have Cardano, XRP, Solana, and in the past, Terra Luna, all vying for this number 6 spot. I pulled up the chart right now. Many times the market caps were basically identical, all within $1 billion. And now we have Cardano taking a nice lead, about 2.3 billion over XRP. I mean, what is going on with the Cardano charts? Is it, gaining too many Satoshis? Do we need to worry about a pullback with that? I mean, I know we're still a far cry from $3.
Yeah. So just like you said, I mean, the outperformance is definitely impressive. I did move up my chart here so everyone can see the low end of it. That's the worst when you can't see what I'm talking about. But one of the things to look at here is so number one, the outperformance is impressive, like you're mentioning, just like Chainlink. I mean, you're starting to see a few of these start to outperform. As a technician, these are things I look for to start to see if you may get a short-term turn in the market, right? Because instead of everything just being a nasty kind of red screen in front of you, you have these little pinpoint positive divergences, if you will, within the crypto sector. So definitely this Chainlink. Now I'm keeping my eyes open. Does Polkadot start to do something like this? Does Ethereum? Ultimately, you want to see more and more of these kind of put these little positive moves on, and then they have to hold them, right? One of the coolest things on the chart here is that take a look at this trend line going back to September of 21. If I connect it from that high to this high down to this high, look at what the low was on Cardano, like right to that point. So if you know your technical analysis, you broke out above that trend line. And what the tendency is for a market, and this happens when stocks and in crypto and in commodities, is the market likes to come back to home base. Think of a kid going off to college or to the university, and they leave the nest. And then they're like, oh, I miss my parents and my home cooking. So they come back for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? So the chart does that so often. And it's usually an amazing buying opportunity. In this case, it really was buying down there at like 40 cents. And here we are 50% higher. So I like this. Again, I'm cautious, like so many of the panel has mentioned, to be careful in a bear market because things can kind of fool you. But, little things like this starting to get me to pay attention a little bit more, starting to make me wonder, is there something more here, or is this just a bear market rally? So I wouldn't necessarily say, again, commit capital, but keep these on your radar. Do they continue? If they sell off, do they take out their recent lows, or do they make a higher low? Watch those type of things.
Okay. And I do want to just tell a personal story. I bought a vehicle about a month ago. Have to check the charts at 80 cents Cardano. Dumped some Cardano, 80 cents. The guy I bought the car from, Jim, shout out to Jim. He didn't cash out the Cardano, kept it as Cardano. So sorry, Jim. But hey, I'm pretty happy with my Nissan Titan. Thank you. It's an old one. It was like 4K. It was an old beater. But all right, Andrew, talking about Cardano, they first announced this last year, finally came out. They announced the school system in Ethiopia, used in the school. They announced that, I want to say maybe even 2 years ago. Still haven't really made much headway, but now we're finally starting to get some of the pieces fitting together here. What are your takes on Cardano's slow but steady approach? Is it, in the face of Solana outages, was this the right choice? Or, when you look at the price, a lot lower than $3, is it maybe not the best choice? What are your takes?
I think it's a crouching tiger. Just making sure I'm not muted this time, right?
No, you're good.
I'm talking. Okay. I think it's like a bit of a sneaky goat. I'm more interested in its Vassal hard fork scheduled later for this summer. Right. So there's a lot, just one notch on the list of impressive and long-awaited things. Cardano is doing that slow burn rom-com feel for the narrative that they're trying to drive. But honestly, it's already driven a lot of investor interest. Right. The hard fork has brought about active pools to up to 3,000 in late May. So I think that at the end of the day, it's one step in the larger Cronus project. It's supposed to be a collaboration between IOG and Dish to make the blockchain a core part of that Dish ecosystem and its overall consumer strategy moving forward. So in that sense, you're thinking about intersecting the technical trading and the way that investors in the market moves with the actual fundamentals of how the partnership would actually function and who actually gets the benefit. And like we said with the weekend, the people that benefit are actually the fans.
Yeah.
Just joking.
All right. Well, all right. Back to, Taco. I'm going to bring it to you here. A little speculation. Right now, we're number 6, coin market cap. Number 5 is BNB. And I want to say BNB is going to be close to double, if not double. Yeah, more than double. Cardano, 21 billion. BNB, 47 billion. Now Binance is in the regulator crosshairs. There's a lot of FUD being thrown Binance's way. But Cardano seems to have a lot of good things going on. What kind of odds are you placing on Cardano overtaking BNB and capturing a top 5 spot again?
Well, there's definitely a reason that Dish went with Cardano over BNB and like Ethereum, for example. It works. It's been working. I mean, Ethereum does work, but it's expensive and they're going through upgrades. Cardano, yes, is still going through upgrades, but the way that Charles Hoskinson has been able to roll them out has been more methodical with peer-reviewed papers. But to your question, can they take the lead of BNB? It's a coin flip. I mean, it's the market determines that, and I mean, it does have a strong community. Their Twitter presence is very strong. When polls are put out there, they seem to always win the Cardano community. So they have its backers. Partnerships with Dish are just going to help them out. So maybe in the future, yes, I could see it passing BNB and take that 5th spot.
Okay, you say could. I'm gonna put you to the crosshairs here. 12 months from now, bottle rocket aimed at your face. Yes or no? BNB Cardano higher. Which one?
Cardano.
Ooh,
I'll go with Cardano.
All right. He went for it there. All right, Jayson. Let's get back to price here. Looking at the 1-year chart, I had to look for my own self because I was just almost in disbelief in how long it's been going down and to the right. Is there going to be any relief soon without a $40,000 Bitcoin, a $50,000 Bitcoin? Is it possible for a blue chip like Cardano to, pull a Chainlink in like it's, 2019?
Well, anything's possible, DZ. Of course, anything's possible. But, I would just like to point out a few things. Number one, if we take a look at the Bitcoin pair here, we do see something very intriguing, which is we have this very important support resistance flip here coming in right around, 1700 Satoshis. And this is a very strong level on the Bitcoin pair. I mean, this was pretty much our support in the 2018 crash, and then it was our resistance in the 2019 fake bull run. And then we can see that flipped into support. And here we are again. And not only are we back at this support, but we've also kind of come down below this previous low, grabbing liquidity. And I really like the bullishness of this, the way it looks objectively on the chart. SDT pair, and we pretty much have the same exact thing where we have the high of the bull market in 2017 now being resistance. It was resistance again before we broke out in 2021, and now acting as support. So I would say that none of the other coins that I'm doing that I'm trading actively have done this, where we've seen this major support resistance flip. Not only that, coming back to retest the high of the previous bull run. Is it possible? I'm just throwing it out there that Cardano could actually do something like what Chainlink did. I don't know, man.
All right. Now, Gareth, I see you, frantically looking at charts. I believe, I see you wheeling that mouse wheel around. What are your takes on the Cardano Satoshi trading pair here?
Yeah, I think that's super interesting. I think that's a great point, and definitely coincides with the trend lines that I was showing on my chart. So I love this, and I love the fact that there's so many different. You get great panelists on with different views, and you'll notice there's a lot of the different technical analysis meshes up and can actually reinforce a view, or maybe it gives you pause to think about something. And I think that's so super, super important.
I know I'm reinforced. As soon as this stream's over, I'm buying 0.4 Chainlink and 4 whole Cardano. I know I can't wait. Hit that like button if you're going to join me. All right, that is all we have time for. And it looks like Gareth narrowly edged out Jayson. Gareth, feel free, lead us into some parting thoughts here, please.
Parting thoughts. First of all, thank you, ATB and DZ, for having me on and having all of us on. And everyone here is an awesome mind. Follow them on Twitter or any of their social medias. For me, you can find me on social media on Twitter at Gareth Soloway, my website, verifiedinvestingcrypto.com. And just be careful out there. There's some positive things occurring, but you got to be safe in this environment. Remember, no one went broke taking a profit. You get in the money, take a little bit off, leave the rest on to see if it runs.
All right. Love it. And honestly, some of my favorite panelists here, no joke. And I will not be hosting tomorrow. I am getting sliced open, getting a plate and some screws attached to my bones. They're going to re-break my arm and plates and all that good stuff. So I believe we're still, who knows who's the host will be. You got to stay tuned. You got to find out. Make sure you tuned in 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Until next time, BitSquad. Easy out.